The band Creed said it best. Can you take me higher? House of Glory wrestling fans, I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. High Intensity 11, for those who don't remember, last year was number 10, was my first House of Glory show since the War Within back in May at La Boom. And I gotta say, House of Glory really hit this one deep to right field on this particular show, and quite the show awaited me for a return. And I will say this event, I'm saying this before I even go with the results here, this event I'm sure will be talked about for ages, and it blew last year's High Intensity out of the water. Okay. We actually had a pre-show match to start things out, as we saw a tag team. I apologize if I got their tag name wrong, if they're known as Rebellity, as they took on, representing the Cold-Blooded Killers, Raheem Royal and J.R. Monty. J.R. Monty and Raheem Royal were victorious over Rebellity. Again, all apologies if I got their name wrong. At 4 minutes 51 seconds. Now, the thing is, folks, originally this show was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. Oh, my eyes. And, oh, my eyes are hurting. And, it was supposed to start at 7 o'clock, but then they pushed it the time to 7:30 to give the fans a chance to get to the show, because considering it was a Friday night, most fans probably had to work. And by the way, when Instagram posted the flyer of this very show, and I said, are the doors opening at 5 or 6? And they replied by saying it was going to open at 5, but it was some point between 5:30 and 6 o'clock they finally let the crowd in. And looking back, I should have bought something to eat before I got there, because over at the bar all they had were drinks, and there was like a little area with food, but it wasn't ready yet. But I was just so perturbed by that, I decided I didn't want to spend any more money for the rest of the night, because they charged $8 for a Heineken. Now, I'm not a heavy drinker, folks, but I mean, I can probably go to a local bar and get a Heineken or any kind of beer for like $5, but $8? Not to sound like the Lake Gorilla Monsoon, but give me a break. Eventually, the main show gets started with the Matt Travis Memorial Battle Royal, which where the winner would get a guaranteed title shot at any championship of their choosing. Among the participants for this one were Smiley, Blackman, Raheem Royal, Mr. James. So I think it's official. HOG PD is officially dead, and I'll have more on that later in the video. Jay Bougie, I believe J.R. Monty was in this. Sweet Cheek, J.R. Monty, Sweet Cheeks, Joey Silver, Boss Rutan, I think that was him dressed up as the late Matt Travis. I wonder why we didn't see Ken Broadway for this one. Yeah, I forgot a lot of the names, but one particular competitor, I believe, unless I'm mistaken, he was working the door as the crowd was coming in. And there was one lady, I believe she used to be a part of HOG PD. She was known as Scarlet Meridian. So I don't know if that all proves HOG PD is dead. Good battle royal here, and initially they were mostly outside on the floor for some reason. And eventually it came down to Armani, Royal, and Silver. Silver and Royal were battling out on the apron, and Armani did a top rope move where he and Silver wound up hitting. Well, Armani went over the top rope, knocked Silver off the apron to the floor, and Raheem Royal was the Battle Royal winner at 12 minutes, 7 seconds, and now gets an opportunity to any HOG championship. Up next, we saw the Jet, Kevin Knight, make his House of Glory debut. He challenged Gringo Loco for the Cruiserweight Championship. Very good matchup these guys had, and I noticed Tony, spelled with an I, and Sabrina, they were standing near me. Really, they were really screwing their head off for the Cold-Blooded Killers throughout the night, and I believe Sabrina was the one really going for Gringo Loco here. These two did great, and this ended up Gringo Loco defeats Kevin Knight at 17 minutes 30 seconds with the super bomb off the top rope to retain the Cruiserweight Championship. Now up next, it was the I Quit match for the Tag Team Championship, as representing the Cold-Blooded Killers, CBK, the Root of All Evil, Charles Mason and Nolo Catano, as they challenged Jay Lyon and Ringmaster Midas Black, or is it Ringleader Midas Black, collectively known as Main Event. A lot of hectic stuff in here. They went out to the floor. Lyon gave Royal a powerbomb on the ramp. At one point, Joey Silver, he spears Armani off the ramp through a table that was positioned right behind the area I was sitting at. And then, I think it's safe to say, James Santiago from Turnbuckle Tabloid was having himself a proverbial cream fest, saying, "Yeah, we got our spot again." Please. No disrespect to you, man, but you were like jumping for joy and stuff. Eventually, Main Event, they get one of the turnbuckles, well, actually the iron hook that connects the turnbuckle to the red rope to the ring post. They were going to use it. Eventually, it was so much I can't even remember in this match, folks. Eventually, Midas was handcuffed and looked like a duct tape was put over his mouth so he couldn't say anything. And at that point, Mason and Katana really had their way with Jay Lyon. They were using chairs on him. Mason hit the tombstone pile driver. He put Lyon in the sleeper hold. I forgot what they were going to do to him, but eventually Midas took the tape off his mouth and he said, "I quit," over the microphone. Charles Mason and Noah Catano defeat Main Event in an I Quit match to become the new House of Glory Tag Team Champions at 22 minutes 48 seconds. Oh, my eyes are hurting. It didn't surprise me. Mason and Catano won the belts because Main Event's been the champions in their second run as champions. Began at last year's High Intensity last August. So, I guess the hunt is on now for Main Event. Unless they have other teams brought in to fight Mason and Catano for the belts. And then, at that point they made an announcement. Too bad I got out of my seat. But they showed up on the screen, a 5-second countdown, and they showed the music video of TNA wrestling superstar Joe Hendry. Look at that. I said his name and he did not appear. And that he will be coming to House of Glory when they return to Queens on Sunday, September 29th. Unfortunately, I cannot make that show, folks. Okay, at that point, we went off to our next matchup, which saw, making his House of Glory debut, Zilla Fatu, the son of the late Umaga, as he challenged La Sombra, Carlos Ramirez, for the Crown Jewel Championship. Now, originally, Zilla was going to challenge Mike Santana for the world title, but that got changed. And they wait till the night before the show to announce the changes. These two were pretty much going at it. Eventually, out from the crowd, Hillary P. Wisdom He's like, he's only distracting the referee, and out comes Idris Jackson. I apologize, I got his name wrong. Who's managed by Wisdom. He attacked Ramirez from while the referee was distracted. Zilla hits the bounce off the rope, hits I guess the flying Samoan spike, and then he hit a splash from the top rope. Zilla Fatu defeats Carlos La Sombra Ramirez at 11 minutes 12 seconds to win and become the new House of Glory Crown Jewel champion. So looks like Zilla Fatu is going to be around. They went to intermission at that point in time. And let me say, that one thing they have, House of Glory, I'll get to them, well, the whole product in general. But, man, their DJ, kudos to him or her, always playing great songs before the show or at intermission. And, like intermission, they were playing Naughty by Nature's OPP. They played Belle Biv DeVoe's Poison, House of Pain's Jump Around. I mean, if only my brother would have been there, I think he would have started dancing with Chrissy. Chrissy was dancing to some of those songs. Yum. Ugh, not yum when I say it. Okay, not surprisingly, when ring announcer David Adams came back to the ring and announced the show was back in session, it didn't surprise me this match ended up next, as we were ready to see Ultraviolet defend the Women's Championship against the Megasis, Megan Bayne. And Bane's already in the ring, and Ultraviolet comes out and she says, you know, oh, you don't get to get the shot at this belt just because you've been to Japan, and I forgot what else she said. So Violet said, you could have a match with Diamond Virago. And of course, Virago comes out to the song Diamond Girl. And the match was on, and at 8 minutes 15 seconds, Megan Bayne defeats Diamond Virago. And after the match, Violet slaps Diamond around, but out comes Commissioner Jason Solomon, and he says to Violet, you know, why are you cosplaying as the commissioner? You don't get to make the matches around here. We advertise a women's title match, and it's going to happen. And in a matter of seconds, Megan Bayne defeats Ultraviolet to win the House of Glory Women's Championship, ending Ultraviolet's near 2-year reign as the women's champion. I believe she won the belt in September 2022. Correct me if I'm wrong, folks. I don't know how many seconds it was, but I'm sure it was under a minute when Megan won the women's belt from Ultraviolet. Up next was the New York Street Fight, as Steve Macklin challenged Mike Santana for the House of Glory World Championship, and very good match these guys had. And doors were brought into play, and they both showed each other each door. Mike Santana defeats Steve Macklin with a discus lariato to retain the championship at 12 minutes 24 seconds. After the match, out comes Raheem Royal with the contract that states he, due to his Battle Royal win earlier in the show, he could challenge for any championship, but out comes the root of all evil, Charles Mason, and also Jay Armani and Nolo Kitano, the rest of all four members of the Cold-Blooded Killers, CBK. And Mason, you know, I forgot what he said. He said he'll cash in that contract when Santana least expected. And then it was the main event time, as Mr. House of Glory himself, the Amazing Red, challenged Swerve Strickland. He faced Swerve Strickland, accompanied the ring by Prince Nana, to cap off a great night of House of Glory wrestling. Swerve defeats Amazing Red at 20 minutes 58 seconds with that running kick. I guess we'll call it the Swerve kick or the Swerve stomp. After the match, Swerve gets the microphone and he says, without Amazing Red, I wouldn't have fought Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, and I forgot what else he said. But basically put the Amazing One over. And I mean, I don't know, Amazing Red. I mean, you know, he's not just phoning it in. He's not just mailing it in. And the fact that he's in charge of House of Glory, you know, I don't know if there's anybody left in the world that Red has yet to face. Because throughout the years, and this is quite a big list, I've seen the Amazing Red go one-on-one with Low Key, Homicide, Dan Moff, Samoa Joe, Deranged. I don't know if they ever had a second one-on-one match. I've seen Red face the Grim Reaper. I know there's more people. AJ Styles. Yeah, AJ Styles. The late Xavier. The late Trent Acid. There's just so many I've seen Red face over the years live. But I don't think there's anybody left, past or present, Red has yet to face one-on-one, or anyone Red wants to face one-on-one again. But the show ended, even though the show was pushed to a 7:30 start, it ended just before 11 o'clock. Personal notes time! It was great sitting by Ariana and Chrissy. Great seeing James Santiago of the Turnbuckle Tabloid. Michael, who was sitting by us. Oh, great seeing Joshua. I forgot his last name. He was there with his girlfriend. Oh, Stella. Great seeing her. I hadn't seen her. Can't remember the last time I actually saw Stella. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I mentioned this, but before the show even started, a blast from the past came over to me in the form of Chris Devine. That's not his real name, folks. And, you know, I don't know, he asked if I remembered him, and I spelled it out. I didn't say Divine, I spelled the word Divine. And talked about the days when he used to team up with Quiet Storm. And just amazing. 20 plus years later, he doesn't look like Chris Devine. All apologies, man. I don't know if you're just wrestling or helping out with the training. But one thing I'll say for House of Glory, I have yet to go to a Legacy Pro Wrestling event, which is usually mostly the students, I believe, and sometimes they get them from time to time. Like at past LPWs, you've had Paul London, Brian Kendrick. I think the last one you had in late June, you had Kevin Blackwood. And you know, you can't go wrong. Those shows, they only charge $20 for those babies. There'll come a time I go there for an LPW event. Who else can I remember seeing in the crowd and stuff? I wish I didn't encounter Brian Baez, Brian XL, before the show intermission or after the show was done. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I'm sure I wasn't the only one complaining about this, but they need to get an air conditioning system installed in the building. It was so, but even with fans not wrestling fans, I'm talking like fans spreading air throughout the room, but with all the body heat that came along with the crowd, like, my God. Ooh. Oh, my eye. That came along, my God. I mean, and if that wasn't bad enough, throughout the show there were two people sitting in my area and their chairs gave out. Maybe it's time to get some sturdier chairs, House of Glory. Ooh, my eyes. Damn. Okay, I wouldn't swear to it, but was young Gordy, J. Alfredo, was he there, folks? I looked like someone who resembled him was standing near me. Oh, and to the fans, oh boy. To the fans that chant, fuck you, to Charles Mason and the rest of the cold-blooded killers. Not everybody wants to know you want to do them. As Duran Duran said, too much information. I have to say, let me get to it. Hold on. I know I've typed it somewhere here, folks. Here it goes. Now, House of Glory gives quite a feeling. You know, it makes you glad you're there, from the show itself to the fans, especially the ladies. Hi, Ariana. And to the damn good music the DJ plays before the show and during intermission. But to the DJ, we need some Metallica played at these shows, man. Well, or lady. Ooh. Oh, good seeing Erica. And kudos to you, because I forgot which point in time of the show I went into. There was a bucket of Coronas and bottled water right by Chrissy and Ariana, and I didn't want to. And good thing there was a bottle of Corona there, because I didn't want to go spend any more money for the rest of the night after they charge $8 for a Heineken. I'm sure the security don't allow outside food and drinks coming in there anyway. And I don't have a bottle opener, and I was at one point, I think, I forgot who was about to come out for their match, and I said, does anybody have a bottle opener? And I even tried to take the bottom of my shirt and cover it, the lid of the drink, and I couldn't. But then Erica came over, and I think somebody was there with a bottle opener, and she handed it back to me. And thankfully that Corona was still cold. Okay, I guess it's time to plug. House of Glory debuts in Las Vegas, Nevada on Saturday, August 17th. They debut in the Chicago area Thursday, September 5th. And then they return back to Queens on Sunday, September 29th, as they present Believe in the Glory, which will feature appearance by TNA wrestling star Joe Hendry. I said his name for the second time, and he still has not appeared. And by the way, I forgot to mention when they didn't make that announcement about Hendry coming, not surprisingly, the whole crowd had a proverbial cream fest singing his hit. Well, he got the hit in the land right now in terms of entrance music. Can't believe so many people outside were smoking weed, or unless they were vaping or doing vaping outside before the crowd was let in. I was fortunate to get a picture with Ariana and Chrissy after the show ended, but because of the damn body heat, we couldn't have a hug while we were taking the photo. And when I told Ariana that I'm not coming September 29th, I don't know if she was surprised to hear that or just seemed let down. She said, "Aww." Oh, Ariana and Chrissy, I wish I could see both of you more often, because I never know when I'm going to see both of you again. Oh, and just before when I was taking my leave to get out of the building, I noticed Thomas. I can't remember his last name, but I know he's from Brooklyn. Yeah, he saw me like after the show was done. Good to see it him. Oh boy, damn. A few other pretty ladies were in the crowd. What else can I say about this show that has not already been said? Oh, I forgot. During the tag title match, I forgot if it was Mason or Katano. Looked like they were using water torture on Midas Black. And I at one point I said one way to quench his thirst. Damn. What else can I say about this show that was so actually, well, I don't think he did a promo on this event, but I gotta say Hillary P. Wisdom, when he does his promos that I've seen for upcoming LPW events, it reminds me of one Father James Mitchell, who of course was with Mikey Whipwreck at ECW, and he also James Mitchell of course managed Abyss in TNA. But I don't know if anybody knows when House of Glory is going to be back in Queens after September. I mean, I don't know if what they're gonna name future shows after that. But once again, they'll be in Las Vegas Saturday, August 17th, Chicago Thursday, September 5th, and back in Queens on Sunday, September 29th. Damn, why'd they have to run on Sunday during football season? Now, House of Glory is the second promotion I'm going to miss in September. Oh, truth be told, folks, when I was waiting for the show to begin, I really wasn't in the best of spirits, knowing I had to come right from work, and it was warm in the building. But, you know, as the music went on before the show, especially when they played The Middle by Jimmy Eat World, love that song, they, then I kind of soothed my mood. But, House of Glory, once again, this is going to be talked about for ages. Blew last year's high intensity out of the water. And I'd like to know, what is the name of that music they play to start House of Glory shows? When you hear the HOG, and somebody said HOG with that music that played after the countdown to start the shows that are aired on Fight TV. And by the way, folks, if you were not at this show, order the replay on Fight TV. Whew. And I'll say, I think right now, this looks like a show of the year candidate, even whether or not High Intensity is their big one for the year. Man, I can't believe this very video's gone just nearly 30 minutes now. But House of Glory, you knocked this one out of the ballpark. You scored a touchdown, a slam dunk, and as they say in soccer, scored a goal. I'm not saying goal 5 zillion times like those soccer announcers would. But there we go, folks. I don't know when I'll be back for House of Glory, but it won't be in September, unfortunately. But I'll say it. HOG. 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 Forgot to mention, people were chanting no AC because there was no air conditioning in the building. I don't know. I may think twice about coming to House of Glory next summer for these shows if there's still no air conditioning installed. Nobody wants to sweat their butts off. I mean, heck. So, this was one whale of a show.